Hi guys, my name is Danny Wells and I am a Regional Vice President with Arbonne International, and I wanted to just chat to you all today a lot about a little bit of reflection that I've been having. So many of you might know that when I started my business, which was on July the 1st, 2014, I understood-ish the concept of building an online business. By no means was I a professional, far from it. Still probably not at that destination that I want to be quite yet anyway. But I knew straight away that building this business was worthwhile, so much more than not building it. So the alternative was so much more scarier than just getting on and building it. And although I did have a lot of can'ts, I haven't got a lot of time, I haven't got much money to try and do the products myself, I can't this, I can't that. I just didn't use any of my energy units on focusing on can'ts, because we only have so many energy units a day. Let's say we have 100 energy units a day. I don't know what the exact number is, but let's say we do. Every time we think about what we can't do, we're using up energy units. Whereas if we just preserve them for what we can do instead, then you're going to use your energy in a good place rather than using your energy in a bad place. So I very much was like, okay, I don't know how to do this, but rather than use my energy units on worrying about something and using energy that's going to not take me down the path I want to go on, I'm going to use my energy to take me on a path I do want to go on and figure it out along the way. And I very much was addicted to the CD and the book by John C. Maxwell, Failing Forward, which in a nutshell says that whatever it is that you decide to do in life, you're not going to be a pro at it. You just need to accept that you're going to make mistakes and fail forwards along the way, and you'll learn how. Like a child learning to walk doesn't get up and just walk. They stumble, they fall, they get up, fall down, get up, fall down, and they fail forward. So I got that. So anyway, so I was straight in, let's figure this out. And I built my business in the first year really successfully. When I look back, I'm like, flipping heck, I literally was like head down, bum up, and just getting on with it, like digging in the trenches. I didn't really, when I look at that first year, I don't think I used any of my energy units. But I don't know how I'm going to do this. I literally was like laser focused, like I'm doing it, I don't know how, but I'm doing it, I don't know how, but I'm doing it, I don't know how. And every month my business grew, because I was growing as well. So I was growing, my business was growing, everything was great. And then I got to the level that I'd said that I was going to get to, which was the third of 4 levels, so region, 11 months into the business, so within the year, and I was overjoyed. I couldn't believe it. Well, I could, because I did believe it, because I spent a lot of time visualizing it and affirming and manifesting it to happen. So of course I could believe it, but I was like, oh my gosh, wow, like it's actually happened, this is great. And then what happened was ego. It's a killer. Ego. So I built my business. It was turning over $40,000 a month, which was great. Anybody would give their right arm to have a business like that. And then I think I expected to just go nation a couple of months later. And it does happen for some people, it does. But I had a lot of work to do on myself. And I think my personal development that I did in the first year took me to the level of region, because I really invested in myself. I read a heck of a lot of books. I was listening to about 3 audios a day. I was doing so much activity and learning throughout it, because I didn't have somebody saying, this is what you need to do, go and do it. I had to figure it out myself. So I was learning a lot through doing that, because you learn so much when you're just getting on with it and doing it. And it's beneficial to learn what doesn't work as much as it is to learn what does work. I never see people learning how things shouldn't be done as a bad thing. It's not. If you've done something and it hasn't progressed you've still learned from it. Laura Chenery put on Facebook this morning, your best teacher is your last mistake. That's so true. It is so true. So anyway, ego hit, and I didn't build my business to the $160,000 that I'd predicted a couple of months later. And I think it really knocked me. Like, I think it really knocked me. I've tried to be like, oh, it's fine, we'll set another goal. And I've gone for that goal 3 times now for nation, and we've never hit it. And that's okay, because I know that I will be a nation. I know that I will be there, even if it takes me 20 years. The alternative is much more scary than just carrying on with this and carrying on. But I think I've learned so much in the past 18 months since reaching region. And I've had 18 months of being a region and, you know, digging away. And I've really learned a lot about ego on a personal level. I was talking to my good friend Sarah Lamore this morning about this, and she was chatting on the phone about the topic, and I was like, oh, I've just got to make some notes. We were laughing about it. And I think, you know, we had a really good conversation about it, and she said the same. She said, you know, when you've got this goal in mind, for a lot of people, they reach their goal and then ego hits in, and you think, why? Because what you did to get you there was be grounded and be grateful and be kind and be helpful and friendly and be approachable and all these great traits, and then you hit your goal and it's almost like, right, that's it now, I'm a regional vice president, like look at me, which I did. I'm not saying everybody does, I'm not saying that for a second, but I think I did without intending to. So I've had to really work a lot over the last 18 months. And one thing that I've really noticed is my business hasn't really grown on a graph, if you like. So when I first started to the first year, my business went like that pretty much. It grew every single month. It was great. Whereas when I went region to where I am now, which has been 18 months, it has grown bits and then dipped and grown bits and dipped and grown bits, but it hasn't grown. You know, it might have done a little bit, but not really grown. And I've been frustrated and trying this, trying that, what's happening. And you know what? It's because of me. I have not been growing personally as much as what I should have been. Because for me to turn over $160,000 and have a team that invest into that organisation, into our nation to be, I can't be a $40,000 regional vice president. I need to be $160,000 national vice president. And that is a big jump. And I think that I thought that by continuing on the same personal development, it'd be the same, but it's not, because you've got to up the ante, you've got to up it. And I haven't been doing the amount of personal development that I should have been doing. And yes, I listen to at least one audio every single day, if not 3 or 4, without fail, but I'm not consistent enough with my reading. And although I do listen to audios, there's something magical about reading a book. There's something more, the energy about reading a book is very different to listening to an audio. And you need both. It's like having a gym membership, going to the gym and eating well. They come together. You can do one or the other, but you're not going to see the best results unless you do them both. So reading and listening to audios come hand in hand, as with activity and obviously mindset. So I need to up the ante. So this is just me just talking about, I need to move my bum from being a $40,000 regional vice president to $160,000 national vice president and beyond, really. So a few things that I've written down from mine and Sarah's conversation is, the more personal growth you do, the better you handle situations. So there are always going to be situations that take the wind out of your sails, always. I'll give you an example. So yesterday we had an email from head office to say that our big annual trip that we can earn was changing destination. So we all knew it was going to be Cyprus. We were really excited about this. And then we had an email to say that there was an issue with the hotel in Cyprus, and we now no longer we're going to be going there. We were going to be joining our big annual trip with America and be going somewhere in America. We all know that it's probably going to be like Cuba, Puerto Rico, Bahamas, somewhere like that. It's going to be somewhere really exotic. But it's a change. Oh, got my notepad. Now, how we handle these changes that come into our life is a reflection of our personal development, because if they'd said, we're not going to Cyprus anymore, the trip has been taken off, a lot of people would be devastated. They'd be like, oh, I was really looking forward to earning that trip. But if you're not doing a lot of personal development, you will react quite badly. You'll be like, oh my God, it's changed. You'll be like, keyboard warrior, maybe voice noting, being really annoyed, I'm disappointed, I'm angry, I'm mad. And those feelings are a reflection of personal growth. Whereas if these changes come into your life and you just embrace it as it is what it is, that's how it's meant to be, this is the universe working in its ways, if you embrace that and be like, oh, that means something else even better is about to happen, that is a reflection of personal growth. And I really have seen that when I started my business to being in a region, I handle situations in a much better way. So when something bad happens, I don't feel angry or cross or frustrated or annoyed. I just feel calm. I'm like, okay, it's just the way it's supposed to be. But to be from a region to a nation, I've got to grow that even more. There's more that I need to do. So personal development is a reflection on how you handle situations. So when situations happen, when bad things happen, how you handle it is a reflection of your personal growth. And I want you to think about, if something bad happened in your life, how would you handle it? What are the feelings that you would feel? So if you feel angry or cross or annoyed or frustrated, you need to do more personal growth. And I know that's what I needed to do. Rather than reacting and being angry and cross, you need to do more personal growth. If bad things happen in your life and you take it elegantly, like a swan, and you're like, okay, and you don't react, you go, I'm going to process this. And the first thing you do isn't phone somebody else to complain, isn't get tappy, it's just think about it on your own, process your thoughts, and then you might need to talk to somebody a little bit later on once you've processed your thoughts. You haven't reacted. That is a sign of personal growth. And I was talking to Sarah and I said, do you know who is the epitome, I don't know if that's the right word, but I said, Sarah, of personal growth? I said, Kim Mellor. So Kim Mellor, she is the inspiration for personal growth. This girl has had so much thrown at her that she just handles it so elegantly. And I'm sure there are times when she feels like she's been punched in the stomach and she doesn't know how she's going to grab oxygen to breathe again. Like, it's such a shock that did not see that coming, that she doesn't go on Facebook and start complaining or on the phone complaining to people. She waits, she processes the thoughts. She might leave it a few days, even a few weeks, maybe in a few hours, and then she decides what she's going to do about that information. And she sees any information, any change, as this is how it was supposed to be, and how I react is going to be what happens next. Do I react in a great way or do I react in a bad way? So Kim, if you're watching this, thank you for being you, because I know that you've had times over the past few years that anybody else would have just gone, do you know what, I'm done. Not just with building a business, but just life. I'm done. Life is unfair. Why me? Woe is me. And no one would have thought badly of you for doing that, because you've had some pretty horrific stuff happen, but you haven't. You've calmly processed and you've just handled things beautifully. And it's because of you that I am inspired to grow more, to be like you in terms of handling things and having that deeper sense of personal development. So how you react, this is now in general, not just to Kim, how you react to things, change, bad things, is a sign of your personal growth. So if you are handling things in a calm, collected way, no matter how bad they are, you're on the right track to great personal growth. If you're feeling annoyed, frustrated, angry, mad, sad, depressed, tired, exhausted, that's personal growth. And you need to do more. I need to do more as well. You and I, we both need to do more. So another thing I wrote down is habits. They define us. So our habits define us. How you do anything is how you do everything. So I know that I need to work on my habits. And I've been saying this since I went region. I need to conquer my miracle morning. I need to conquer my daily habits, because it's my daily habits that are going to move me from region to nation. I know that. So why am I not doing it? It's insane. I know that to be $160,000 worthy, to have that energy around our team, I need to work on my daily habits. So my goodness, why am I not doing it? Why? I haven't even got the answer to that. But I need to work on it. And I think I need to start off slow. So I did used to do the miracle morning, and guess what? My business would grow. Funny that. Stop doing it. My business stops growing. So I know that I need to really work on my daily habits, because honestly, how you do anything is how you do everything. Your daily habits define you. For you to grow through the levels, it comes down to how strict you are with your daily habits. So to go to district, you need to have some great daily habits that you're consistent with. To go to area, you need to up your daily habits. To go to region, you need to up your daily habits. To go to nation, you need to up your daily habits even more. So I know that that's an area that I need to work on. Sarah recommended a book called Ego is the Enemy. I'm going to be ordering that today and reading that. So one other thing that I just wanted to go through that I thought was really interesting, because I've got a pad and paper, is if you imagine a hurricane. So a hurricane's obviously like a whirlwind. There we go, there's a hurricane. So you've got your hurricane. At the bottom of the hurricane, the energy, so this is all energy, obviously like wind energy. The energy at the bottom is really strong. This is strong energy because it's compacted closely together. So if you imagine like a washing machine of energy, if the energy going through the washing machine was in a smaller space, it would be more, there'd be more energy, okay? So this is like chaos at the bottom of a hurricane. There's so much energy, it's chaos, there's things flying everywhere, there's a lot of intense energy of confusion and chaos, and wow, and this is where people are like me who don't do any personal growth. Their life is chaotic, they don't have any money, they don't have any time, they can't, they use all of their energy units for negative things. They manifest bad things to happen because that's what happens. What we think about, we bring about. And if you're thinking about having no money, if you're thinking about being poorly, if you're thinking about not having time, it's going to manifest into it. So this has been at the bottom of the hurricane and having all of that craziness. So this is where I was there. As you do more personal development, the calmer you become. So I'm probably about here now. So when you start your business, you're around here. District, you do more personal development, you probably get here. Area, about here. So I'm region, I'm here. I want to be here. Nation. Nation is calm. You're out of the hurricane, looking in at it, looking at it. And anything bad that comes along, which bad things do happen, you react. You don't even react. You're just calm. You're serene. You're like a swan gliding. You've done so much personal development that anything bad that happens would have affected you down here. Does not affect you up here because of all personal development you've done. You're not in that hurricane anymore. So I always think, how would Debbie Neal react to a negative comment? She wouldn't even be bothered. She'd just be like, next. Like, she just would not be bothered. But when you're around here, a negative comment is like somebody stabbing you. Painful, hurts, because of where you are in personal development. So these bad things are never going to go away. Always going to happen. You're always going to have somebody in your family that's negative about you. You're always going to have bad things happen. Bad things are going to happen. The difference is where you are with your personal development. So if you want to be able to not be bothered by these things that happen, you need to be up here. So when bad things happen, you want to react or feel the same way as if somebody said to me, you've got brown hair. I'd just be like, it's blonde. And if they were like, no, it's brown, I'd be like, okay. Like, I'm not going to use my energy to fight somebody that's wrong. Like, okay, if so. That's how Debbie Neal handles negative comments. The negative comments happen, and she's like, no, and they're like, yeah, and she's just like, okay. Like, she's not bothered. The bad things still happen, no matter where you are in life. It's how you handle them that's different. Now, of course, I still have a ton of negative things happen. Oh my gosh, I've got a massive team of people that have negative things happen to them, and they tell me about it, and you listen, and it's how they talk about them is a reflection of where they are in this hurricane. And most people I speak to are still here, building up to district. So you can imagine the things that happen to them, it upsets them a lot. Whereas if that happened to me, I wouldn't be bothered because my personal development's up here. And I say to them, those bad things are still going to happen, but your personal development will mean that they won't bother you anymore. It's just not going to, it's not going to be a problem. And so it is how you handle these things. It's like growing a muscle. When you first start running up a hill, it hurts because your muscles haven't grown. And then you keep doing your exercise and your muscles grow and they get stronger, and you run up a hill, it doesn't bother you. It's fine. Bring it on. So that's how it is with personal development. So for me, I need to really work on my daily habits hugely, and I've got to work more on my personal development. For me to turn over that amount of energy to be a nation, I need to grow more. I need to be much higher up in that hurricane of mayhem and grow so much more. So that's it really. I just wanted to just chat about that and share a little bit about my thinking and my conversation with Sarah and just my thoughts in general. So I hope this has been useful. It's definitely been useful for me, because this is my accountability now. You've seen it, you know, to ask me, am I working on my daily habits? Am I working on my personal development more so? Am I doing more personal development now than I was at Region? The answer to that right now is no. The answer that I need to be given is yes. So it is the last day of November today, Jennifer Carey's birthday, 30th of November. So my pledge over the next 12 weeks, the next 90 days, I will be back and I will have implemented some better daily habits. I will be doing more personal development as I grow to nation than what I have been as a Region. And I'll be doing a hell of a lot more growing through that hurricane, so that I'm nice and calm, I'm not reacted, I'm not feeling aggravated or annoyed or frustrated. I'm going to be a lot calmer. So you're going to see me grow into a national vice president before you see my QV grow. And I know that that's how it has to be. I have to become a nation before the QV catches up. So that is my pledge. That is my pledge today. So I hope that you've enjoyed my just chatting. I'm sure Sarah's going to laugh her head off when she sees all this, all from that conversation we had on the phone this morning. That is where I'm going to be. I'm going to get that book as well. The book Ego is the Enemy, and I'll let you know how I get on with it.